Hi guys, today we'll be looking how to solve the two sum problem, which is a famous problem which appears in many of the competitive programming contests. The problem statement goes like this: given an array of integers, return indices of two numbers such that they add up to a specific target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. So here's an example with we can better understand the problem. We'll be given with an array and a target value. So in that array there will be integer elements. So when you sum up uh, any of the two integers, you will end up with a sum uh, which is nothing but the target value, right? So you have to find the two indices of two elements which sum up to the target value. So in this case the target value is 9. So guess the two numbers which add up to 9, they are nothing but 7 and 2, right? So their indices will be 0 and 1. So we'll be returning 0 and 1. So this is how you'll need to return your answer, which is nothing but an array of two numbers, two integers. They are nothing but the index values. So in the first glance, the way which you can you will realize is you can brute force through this array and you can find all combinations, say 2 with 7 and 2 with 11 and 2 with 5, as well as 7 with 2 and 7 with 11, and you can do it over and over again until you find the target value 9, and then you can return from the function. So when you do this, the time complexity will increase and it will be in terms of big of and square, right? Since you will have two loops to iterate over. So that won't be a good way and more optimized way. There's one more optimized way. So before I explain it, I'll give you a slight hint so that those of you who want to try can try it out yourself. So the trick here is we have given the target value, right? So we can subtract the target value by the items, right? By the elements, say 9 minus 2 and 9 minus 7, and by the difference value, the value which we get from the subtraction, by that value we can do something. So just try it out yourself and let me know in the comments like if you get the right answer, or else come back, we'll solve it together. So hopefully by now you have got the answer, or else no worries, let's solve it together. So I'll be starting with a function and we'll name that function, say get sum, and this sum get sum function will take two parameters. One is the array itself and one more is target value, right? So and the trick over here is basically what we'll be doing is say the target value is 9. So first what we'll do is I'll explain it over here. We'll first do the target value minus the element, first element. We'll be iterating over this. So first element will get us 2. We'll do 9 minus 2, which will end up in 7, and we'll keep the index in mind. The index is 0 because it was the first iteration, right? And then uh, from next onwards, every time we subtract, say with the next element 7, before we subtract, we go back and check if we had encountered 7 before, right? Or any element which occurs here, did we encounter it before? In this case we have. So if we have, then so this will be 2 and this will be 1, right? So if we have, the indices will be nothing but the previous one of this, the difference of 9 minus 2, and the current iteration index, I mean value, which will be the index value of the second one, because 9 minus 2 leads to 9 minus 7 leads to 2 and 9 minus 2 leads to 7, right? If you have any doubts, I'll clarify it over here while building the solution in programmatic way. So first what we'll be doing is we will iterate over the loop. So during iteration we'll be needing the index as well as the item, and that in the array is nothing but nums, right? So I can't do it like this. Since I need the index, I'll have to use enumerate function. The enumerate function will give me the index value and item for each iteration. This is nothing but like this function will return you index as well as item. So when you do this, we first will calculate the difference like we talked earlier. So difference will be target minus the current item, like how we did over here, 9 minus 2, right? So 9 is our target item, target, and 2 is our item, which is the current item in the iteration. So we'll do that, and as soon as we do that, we will check if the item is in hash map. We will be using hash map over here to store the index as well as the difference, because as you know, hash maps have constant lookup time, so we can use that to our advantage to reduce time complexity. So what will happen? Okay, I didn't define the hash map. Hash maps are nothing but dictionaries in Python, so I defined a hash map which is nothing but a dictionary. So first we'll be checking that if that item is in the hash map or not. If it is there, then we simply return an array of, say, the hash map of the value which we will be storing in the hash map is the index, right? So we will be querying the hash map based on, say, the item. The uh, I want the index of this item, right? And one is that, and the other one will be, one is this, which we'll get from the hash map, and the other one will be current iteration index, right? So, and after that, if, say, if the hash map doesn't contain that element, we simply put that element in the hash map. We do hash map of, say, we add the difference and the index value. So we will be storing the difference, that is 7, with the value I, which is nothing but 0. So it will be something like this. Your hash map will be something like this: 7 with 0, something like this. 7 will be your key and this will be your value. So next time when you query 7, you'll get 0 over here. So that's how you get 0 in this place, and 1 will be in place of I in the next iteration. So and this is done. I'll remove this for now. So we defined a function which will take 2 parameters, then array and target, and we declared a hash map, and we iterate through that array. We get the index and the item, and we subtract the target from the item. We get the difference, and then and then we check if the item is in the hash map. If it is there, then we get the index of that and the current iteration, which is nothing but the second index. We'll get these two, and then we'll be returning that over here. The function will end. If it is not there, then we simply put it in the hash map with the current index, and we will be calling it over here. I'll print the result. I'll call the getSum method, and that getSum will have, let's take the same example. It'll have 2 parameters. One is this, and one more is 9. Okay, so this will be our query. So hopefully this works. Let's test it out. The file name is doSum, and that's it. We got the result, which is nothing but 0 and 1, and as you can see, it's pretty fast because the time it becomes, it becomes solvable in linear time because of hash map and this simple logic. So this was solving to some problem, and feel free to try it out with different test cases. I'm pretty sure it'll work with all the test cases given all the problem constraints. So see you in the next one.